about how to prepare images to post in the Starpath Student Discussion Forum. We can post pictures. Let me look at this discussion in this one course. Here's a sample of how they would look. Here's another sample of how they would look. And so we can do that. We can post them, but there is a requirement on the size and width. So if you make a new post, you say new post, and then you give it a title here of some kind, and then you choose your file you're going to put up there. But look, here's the reminder. It could be maximum 800 pixels across, a width, left to right, and the maximum total size is 300 kilobytes. So now I want to show how you can prepare images for that. And it turns out that there's an online app. Now, those accustomed to using graphics programs, they will know numerous ways to do this. But for the many of us who don't do that all the time, then it's nice to have a tool. And there is a tool here. It's called resizepixel. And this will work Mac or PC or any kind of browser that you're using. You can use this. And so it first says upload an image. And so let me just grab one here. Well, here's the one I'm going to look. Well, it doesn't matter. You'll see it up there in a minute. Let's see. Oh, and so what you could do is look. This is screen. Where are the size here? You see, these are where I got these. This is a screen capture of a book on a page of a book. And so and it's for celestial navigation, so it might not make much sense. And so you can just drag it like that, and that would put it there. Or you can click upload, and then it navigate over here and click it, and it will move it up there. So you could do it either way. So here's the image. Now, and this very nice resizepixel.com. Now, and you see already what we've got going here. And the current size is 1658 by 21. And so this 1658 here, down here at the bottom, that's got to be 800 at the most. By the way, this is a free app, but here's an ad that's going to be let's say it's a free app. It's a free app. It works really well. And here's a way they're paying for it. Here's their advertisements. So, but look down here. Here's everything we want. And original and current are the same because we haven't done any manipulations to it. This is a PNG file. The types of images that we can use are JPEGs, PNGs, a GIF. You can use a GIF, or you can use what's called HEIC. Now the Starpath Forum will accept an HEIC. That's the high efficiency. It's really the most compression type image that the iPhones use, for example, unless you turn it off. But now the trouble with that, when you take a nice iPhone picture, it's going to be a really big, beautiful picture. They're going to have it as small as possible with this HEIC format, but it's not going to work in this. You can't use this app. resizepixel does not take that. It wants the other ones I mentioned. But what you can do, let's see, I got a picture of this. If you're using an iPhone and you want to use this resizing function, then you would go into settings and then camera and uncheck high efficient if this were checked. Yeah, if you're getting the HEIC, well, it's interesting, they spell it two different ways here, but the actual extension they use is HEIC. Neither one of these. I just noticed that. But and just put most compatible, and the most compatible will switch it to a JPEG on your phone. Then you can switch it back if you prefer to have the smaller pictures. Okay, so now we're in the process. So we've loaded this image up, And again, this is taking me some minutes to describe this process, but you'll do this in 1 minute. 1 minute is the total time it takes to do something like this, if a full minute once you've done it once. Okay, so here's a picture we want to put up, but like many of the pictures you want to post, you don't want the whole image. You just want part of it. So step one would probably almost be hit the button up here, crop. That's what makes this such a nice tool. And then you can grab any one of these corners down here, or I say that, but is that true? Yeah. Let's say I just want this top part right here. Something, I can even tweak it a little bit. Let's say that's what I want. And I say crop. So let's see what we gained. Well, first of all, look, we're down to 829. I could almost cropped it. I could have cropped it a little bit smaller even and maybe well, no, that's everything I wanted to see. So I can't get any more cheating on the cropping. But I'm 829. I need to be 800. This is already small enough. This is already plenty small. But I've got to go up here and say resize and just make this 800. 800, resize. And now you've got the image you want. Oh, now why did that make it bigger? Well, okay, that's interesting. It made it bigger when we resized it. But it's, oh, that's a good demo. Okay, so, but it's a PNG, and PNG is not the most efficient image sizing. So the way that we can get this to be right is just change the format. Where do they do that? Convert it to a JPEG. Okay, convert it to a JPEG. No, look at that. Now we've got 800. It's 800 and it's 88 kilobytes. So that's good to go. Plenty good to go. Go to downloads and then download the image. Download the image. And then it's, oh, where did it save it? Maybe it saved it in screen. Oh, well, I can look at it wherever it put it. It put it in the downloads. Okay, so let me just see. Oh, yeah, 90 KB. So this now, if I go back to here, I can just say choose file, and then go to the downloads. Where are the downloads? Here. Take the one we just made, only 90 kilobytes, like that. Open. Give it it's got to have a title and some text, and then you say add the new topic. Add the new topic, and it works. Well, does it work? Yeah, it works. Okay, something like that. I was going to do one more example. Let's go back here and say upload new, and what's the one I've got here? Okay, now I'll just say upload new, and then I'm going to go to date added, download. Oh, no, I put it in the Dropbox. Resize here. That's a picture, screen cap. Okay, so here's an example. I just do a big example. So if you take a screen capture, off your computer, chances are it's going to be a PNG. So the types of images that you're going to want to post is either something you captured from the screen, like an electronic charting program you're doing, or something in a book, or something from our own book you want to talk about or something. But if you do a screen capture, you're going to get a PNG. And likewise, if you take a picture from the phone, well, we discussed that, but they're all going to be big. But here's a screen capture. So let me just say I'm going to open that. So that's the same as if I dragged it in, except this time it's that. So it's a pretty picture of something. So what is it? It's a JPEG. It's way too big. So we start out again. Let's get it the right width. That's got to... Let's say we want the whole thing. I'm not going to crop. Normally you would do crop first, but in this case we're going to take the whole thing. All right, so I don't want to crop. I want to resize, and I want it 800 pixels. Resize. Okay, so that's 800. So there's that, but we're still pretty big. So then I would convert from PNG before we go and change any more resizing, so we can resize by percentage up here. But before we do that, we would go in here and change that PNG to a JPEG. That's convert. And again, I have these instructions. I'm going to put them right in the video description so you see step by step what to do. Convert to a JPEG, convert it. That's, whoa, look at that, 135. Gold mine. We're pretty good. Okay, so that's, you're all done. You're all done. If this were too big, if this, let's say you convert it to a JPEG and the thing is still too big, then go back here and resize and go to percentage and then just say reduce it by 90%, and that'll tweak it down, you know, and so forth. So anyway, we can go to downloads and you can download the image, and then this would screen capture of the beach, and we're back here. New topic. This is another. I'm going to have to go in and delete these then. Downloads. Screen capture of the beach. Okay. And there that. And then say add. Now the preview, by the way, won't show you the image. So you can't preview it to see if you did it right. You just go ahead and load it. And if anything doesn't work right, you just send us a text or call us and say fix it or delete it or do something, and we'll do that for you. Okay, so that's the process. It's Mac or PC, any kind of browser, any kind of image that we discussed, and you can get it to the right size. Less than 800 pixels, less than 300 kilobytes, and then you can post it. It's very handy to be able to post pictures, show your own work, to say, here's what I did, what was wrong, or I did, you know, and so forth, and get extra help from the instructors, and it makes it easier if you can post a picture. Let me finish. Oh, how do I finish here?